Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure review. Please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. And in this video we are taking a look at the 12-inch Iron Man from Marvel Legends. Now, as you've just seen there, he comes with a whole bunch of accessories. You've got a blaster effect, or you've got a couple of blaster effects, you've got a couple of alternate hands, you've got an unmasked Tony Stark head, which is pretty cool, pretty dapper looking. Doesn't look like the one that we got in the 6-inch, slightly different, but it's still very Tony Stark. If we actually have a look at the figure, he's pretty nice looking, I'm not going to lie. The reds and the golds have a real nice metallic sheen, and the arc reactor is kind of built into his chest as opposed to painted on. I'm really loving the colour scheme on this guy. The way that he's painted really makes the pins kind of disappear, so they don't really stand out as much as they do on some of the other figures. And he simply is just red, gold and silver with a little bit of blue in there to highlight the eyes and the arc reactor. This Iron Man is definitely one of my favourite 12-inch figures so far, because at the end of the day it needs to be quite robotic, it needs to be quite angular at places, and it kind of works nicely. So here he is in all his glory. Now, because he's 12 inches, he is too big for my camera, so I need to kind of zoom out and kind of go up and down a little bit just so you can see him. But he just looks really solid and could easily pass as a comic book or a Marvel Cinematic Universe version of the character. Now let's compare him to a couple of the other lines. So this is the 6-inch Marvel Legends Iron Man, and also we'll bring in the 3 3/4 inch Iron Man. Now the 12-inch and the 6-inch are naturally the same look, they've got the same colour scheme and the same build, but the 3 3/4 inch is a retro line, so I'm going to take him back out because he is a very comic book accurate figure. So comparing the 6-inch and the 12-inch, you can see they pretty much look the same. The paint jobs are very similar, the mould is very similar, but they are different. They're not the exact same mould, just scaled up or scaled down. There are differences there. Now let me just pop his head off and swap it out for the Tony Stark one. Now all of these figures so far have come with alternate heads. With the suited figures they come with an unmasked head or a semi-unmasked head, and with characters such as Thor they come with like a helmeted head and a bearded head. So it was obvious that we were going to get a Tony Stark head with this one, but I do prefer him with the suited head. Now 12-inch figures predominantly you would get from makes like Hot Toys, and I think this one kind of stands up. Now it doesn't look as expensive as a Hot Toy, but if you were looking for a 12-inch or a larger version of the Iron Man character, then this is definitely a good version to have on your shelf. I've got to say a huge thank you to RDJ Custom Creations over on Instagram. Do check him out and go and look him up, because he sent this one over with a couple of the others for me to take a look at. And I must admit, now that I've got him in hand, Iron Man is definitely one of the figures that I'm going to chase down for my collection. I think he'll look really good in the cabinet under the lights. I just love the way that the light bounces off of the reds and the golds in his suit. Now, as I've said in previous videos, the 12-inch line by Marvel Legends is kind of a forgotten line. It kind of appeared, sat on the shelves and then disappeared again. Now a lot of people picked these up at discount stores for a much lower price than they were marked up at originally, and now because of the surge in the 6-inch Marvel Legends line, people are kind of going back and trying to get hold of these figures, so they have got a slightly higher aftermarket price. Now the standout piece for this one in particular for me is the arc reactor there in the centre of his chest. It's got a really cool 3D effect. It's kind of built into his chest, and there's like a glass over or a plastic over the front, and it really makes it look quite realistic. There's a lot of detail in there, and the paintwork is quite exceptional as well. There's no kind of splodges or mispainted sections. So let me just, you can see here that it doesn't really show it off, but there's a real 3D effect there. So it's really cool. It's really a good one. So yeah, all in all, this Iron Man is definitely a good figure and well worth chasing down if you're into the larger sized figures. Articulation wise, you've got all the normal points of articulation. So you've got elbows, you've got knees, you've got waist swivels, you've got ab crunches, you've got a ball joint on the neck, head goes forward and backwards. So it's all the same kind of points of articulation that you'd get in the 6-inch line. There's nothing kind of extravagantly different. It's very, very similar to the articulation you'd get in the 6-inch line, but this particular design isn't a figure that we've had, or isn't a design that we've had in the 6-inch line, so there isn't a 6-inch version of this particular look. There's one very similar, but there's not this exact paintwork and details, and I love the kind of 3 lights there on his arm, the 3 blasters, repulse blaster on his arm. He just looks really cool. So yeah, if you're enjoying the 5 minute figure reviews, please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things. Go and check out the rest of my 12-inch reviews over on my channel. Until next time, I'll see you soon.